Hello and welcome to the Luabee tutorial. I'm going to be doing it really quickly because I know that people don't like to sit there and watch as a guy hammers away on his keys. So, without further ado, let's go into Luabee by opening up the console and typing Luabee, just like that. Now, before you continue to edit, make sure that you close the console and the escape menu before you continue to edit, or things will get tricky. If you have an issue while you're using Luabee, it's probably because you forgot to close the console or close the escape menu. So, make sure you minimize and see if that's the problem. Alright, so let's just make a little file. To get a code block onto your palette here, you're just going to click and drag like that. You can delete it like that, and we're going to go to definition. Definition containing the data types, and we'll pull out a string. You just click, drag, and drop between red blocks to connect them to each other. Top goes to bottom, bottom to top, left goes to right, right goes to left. These are the arguments. The sideways connections are arguments. The vertical connections are order of operation. So if we right click on call hook and we click run and we open up the console, we'll see that it printed string. So just as it would, it goes downward and then it goes rightward and goes downward again. And we can save it by clicking file, save. We'll save it as boner. And when you save a file, you make it to where you can open it in Luabee again. So I close that and open boner. Connect call hook. It's just as it was, and I can run it again. So, furthermore, when you're editing, you can double click on a item to remove connections on that item, or you can double click just a block to remove that single connection, just like that. Also, you can compile your Luabee files into actual Lua by going to export. I'll put it in compiled Lua folder, and I'll put it under bonercompiled.txt. Click export, and if I were to open up the folder, you would see that this is an actual Lua folder, and it looks something like this. If you go to View, Open Luapad, it shows you the compiled version of your current file. And you can edit it and save it and run it just as you would on a Luabee file. As you see, we have the 4 tabs up here. The globals tab is if you're just barely basically learning Lua. It's best to stay in the globals tab. You got your print and data types to work with. But if you're starting to get into actual Gary's mod and such, you're going to want to move into the libraries and classes section. The hooks, they aren't defined yet. But some of them, you'll see that they have a color, while others are just black. And it's the same thing in the classes section. Now, if it has color, it's guaranteed to work, because that's ones that I have manually put in to Luabee by hand. However, if it is black, like this, there's a good chance that it may or may not work. If you find that something is broken or it's just not working, and there's a black piece involved somewhere, it's probably just because of that. Black pieces are downloaded from the wiki, and so if the wiki page that they're downloaded from is undocumented or unfinished, it'll mess up. That said, though, you can always open up Luapad and edit things that are broken automatically. So what I'm doing right now is I'm holding on spacebar and I'm dragging on the background to move everything at once. And if you right click on things, you can see certain things about them. Like, for instance, if I right click on print and I click about, it will show me this window right here. Description, blah, returns, arguments, and I can click place to place another one like that. Now, if you would like to, you can do 2 things here with they're called chain delete and change duplicate. Duplicate creates another of a certain block. Chain duplicate creates all the attached blocks to that duplicate. And so that's how that works. And chain delete works just the same way. If I click chain delete here, it'll delete all the things that are connected to it. And I believe that's it. Oh, one last thing. The jump to call hook, jump to point are useful for getting around, and function search is a way for you to find a function without having to actually go into the categories. So, for instance, if I would like to find player get all, I would do just like that, and you see we have player get all right here, and it returns a table. The left side is returns, the right side is arguments, and it all moves from top to bottom. If you'd like to define a variable, make sure that you define it in a unique name because it defines globals only. There are no local variables in Luabee yet, so just kind of work around with that. And for all the rest, I hope that it becomes self-explanatory. That's what Luabee was designed to be, able to be used by noobs and learners. So get out there, make some Lua files, and I hope you enjoy Luabee. Thank you very much for watching.